Good morning. I'm still reporting on the economy from Jerusalem, Israel. We're overlooking the old city of Jerusalem. You can see the Temple Mount, the Mosque of the Golden Dome behind me. We've been here in Israel for 2 weeks now, meeting with members of the Knesset, conducting seminars and conferences. What's the problem here in Israel, and how do you think we should solve it best?
Like in all other countries, most of the new money is created by the banks, the private banks, through loans. Many people think the banks are giving the money that they have, but they actually, each time they give loans, they create new money. And that creates a situation where the new money, instead of going to the thing that the people need, is serving what the government, what the banks find the most profitable for them. So they mostly give large loans to real estate projects where they have a good collateral and they can then make a lot of profits. This creates a continuous raise of the cost of living. This creates the bubbles of real estate, and it makes the people unable to pay for their living. So in Israel, 93% of all new money is created by the banks, and only 7% is created by the government, which it then puts into its needs. So this has to be changed gradually but firmly. Every year, 10-15% of the new money should be added to the side of the government, so it can put into social needs, to economics, infrastructure needs, to educational and healthcare, and this way we will gradually change it. So first 93% will become 85%, and then 60 and 50 and 40, and at the same time the fractional reserve, which enables the banks to risk the money of the people and to give loans of money that they actually don't have, will be reduced until it disappears. There are examples in the history. Lincoln did it successfully, and in Canada they have done it between the 1930s and the 1970s. We're in front of a new world. The power of the people is greater than the people in power, and part of this transition will enable more and more people to be able to create the resources that are needed to live a healthy life. We've lived now in more than 100 years in which monetary speculations have been using the resources of the world, of the people, and we are now in front of a new time and a new era. And it's beautiful to be here in Jerusalem and to discuss this. So when we're talking about New Jerusalem, part of the New Jerusalem is creating a monetary ecosystem in which a variety of monetary means will serve different purposes. That you don't want to give the government to print as much money as it wants, because that will create a similar thing. Neither the banks nor the government can be completely trusted. So in Israel, there is a central bank. We're in a much better situation than in America, because in America, the Federal Reserve is a collaboration of private banks that are giving the money to the government of America as a debt. In Israel, we don't have that problem. So the central bank will be the one who is responsible to decide how much money is streaming into the economy to avoid inflation. And the representatives of the people will decide how much goes into healthcare, how much goes into education, or social affairs or infrastructure. The great thing about it is that gradually there will be less and less problems of debts, both of the people and the companies and the government itself. In the government, people are not aware of it, but there are two kinds of debts. One of it, I call it the good debt, and one of them is a very bad debt. It's like cholesterol, the good cholesterol and the bad cholesterol of the health of the economy. The good debt is responsible long-term bonds of the government that enable the people, without gambling, to keep their money for their pension with a reasonable, a low but firm return on their money. The other one is debts that the government had taken that it has no reason to take. And the result of it in Israel, for example, is that every year the government is paying 37 billion shekels on debts, which actually is exactly the amount that it is taking from individuals as income tax. So by reducing that and creating its own money, debt-free, it will be able to reduce gradually the taxes.
This government just about months ago decided about a deficit of about 30 to 40 billion shekels in this year's budget. Now, after you have decided that, it means that inflation will be followed by this decision. And it's okay if the government thinks that this inflation is what it's needed in order to meet its goals. But after you have decided that, you have two options to create this new money. One is just to take loans, as they normally do. And instead of selling bonds, they can just print the money electronically, of course, and issue it into the economy. In this way, they won't have to pay the interest for this 30 or 40 billion shekels every year, and therefore they will save lots of money for the Israeli people and for the Israeli treasury. And the money today is serving only the 1%. The thing that should be done is to stop using fractional reserve banking and start issuing state money.
I'm still reporting on the economy from Jerusalem, Israel. Good day.